Travel outside the U.S. and you will notice the deep traditions many older countries have. Traditional dress, music, food, and art, apparent everywhere you go. America can still be considered as a relatively new nation, but our short history doesn't mean we lack our own unique traditions. Take quilting, for example. Born of necessity in the pioneer days of westward expansion, quilting began as a way to make use of scrap or tattered clothing. Waste not, want not.
When our pioneer mothers walked west behind the wagons, they had aprons that they kept their quilt stuff in. And as they walked along over the clods of dirt, they would be piecing quilts because their families needed them for warmth. And since the fabric was so expensive, they would trade even the tiniest little bits of fabric with each other, and they made quilts out of those. And if they didn't have cotton bat, if they had an old quilt that was worn out, they would cover a new quilt with the old one. They would use corn husks in the quilts, anything that they could keep that would pocket air.
Today's quilters are storytellers, passing on the history in each design and pattern to the next generation. Quilting as a social event is called a quilting bee. In pioneer days, a bee was any gathering of people working together to complete and enjoy an otherwise tedious task. Bees were assembled to make roads, dig cellars, or maybe clear timber. Today, quilting bees still happen all over. These women are at the Rochester Hills Museum, where they meet once every month.
It's a kind of group where, you cry your heart out to friends and you don't see them for another 2 weeks. And we solve each other's problems, quilting problems, as well as grousing about our families and that sort of thing. And I drive 30 miles each way to come. Snow, sleet, rain, me and the postman, we get here.
This level of dedication is common among quilters. Common really among any group that takes great pride in their art. And it really is art. Despite the technical skill needed to make a good quilt, there are many subjective elements to consider as well.
They used to do a lot of two-color quilts, and the most common were red and white and blue and white. And yet when you look at a quilt, even though those are gorgeous quilts, when you put a lot of color in quilts, if you look at them, you'll see different color placement in them, and it's really important as to where the colors are, because some colors will enhance the color of the others, and some of them will kill the colors. So you have to be real careful of shades and everything else when you're putting them together.
Beside the satisfaction of applying your skills to make something beautiful, other positive aspects keep these ladies coming back.
It's very relaxing to quilt. Plus, you get something done. It's there. It can be a gift, or kept at home, or hung on a wall, or draped over a chair. It's not like a macrame vase or a macrame plant holder. How many of those can you use? Where quilts are always usable. A valuable piece of history to the family.
It's very addictive. It's also very quiet and relaxing, and it's a great way to pass weekends with football games, which I've used for many years because of having all the guys in the family.
The art of quilting and the joy of the quilting bee are alive and well at the Rochester Hills Museum. Come see Timeless Quilts, Patterns of the Past, on display now through March 28th. Or join the ladies' next quilting bee. They meet on the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of each month from 1 till 4 p.m. Call the museum at 248-656-4663 for more information. The Rochester Hills Museum at Van Hoosen Farm. We're history.